Under attack. When freedom hangs in the balance, one voice refuses to be silenced. From the front lines of the information war, standing with patriots across this great nation, this is where the truth fights back. Welcome to the James Justice Show!
Heavenly Father, give us courage when it's dark and wisdom when things get tough. Help us stand up for what's right, protect others, and take care of the country we love. Keep us strong, together, and with you. Amen! Fight! Fight! Fight!
To the James Justice Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, today is August 11th, 2026. I am your host, James Justice. We're going to be here for the next hour, tearing these airwaves apart. So buckle up, sit tight, and let's go! Welcome back, everybody, to the most patriotic venue in all the land. Hope everybody's having a good beginning of the week. We have another vicious news cycle, as always, and things just get crazier week by week. So share this out. Make sure that you are tuned in to the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com to all the events that we have going on, because there's no place like this anywhere in the world. And yeah, man, we just had a great event over the weekend, and we're going to be showing some clips of that later on. But let's get into this crazy ass news cycle. So pull this image up. We got more churches burning down. All right. So these churches, there's been over 100 of them that burnt down. This one happens to be St. Paul Church in Montreal, Quebec, and in Canada. And the devastation and the amount of loss that we have from these historical churches that go back a couple hundred years is just, you're never going to get it back. You're never going to get back. So this is over 100 churches that have been burned, and you know, there's still no accountability, no arrests going on, and it's a shame to see, because Christianity is taking a real beating right now all over the world, and it's a shame to see, because Christianity basically paved the United States and made our country what it is today, and to see it getting stomped out and the light of you know, liberty and everything that this country stood for and our soldiers fought for being extinguished by these Marxist, communist scumbags that are running around everywhere. You know, it's burning down the churches. You have all these giant mosques being erected in the United States, and communities being bought up and just cordoned off to be just a Muslim zone. This is going on in our country, and you know, until we start really hitting these deportations on a mass level effect, I don't know what the future is going to look like, man. It's looking a little crazy, because in about 20-25 years from now, if we have all the people here that are made it their, you know, their duty to overpopulate us and outpopulate us, you know, there's going to be a problem in 25 years. You're going to have, like, you know, 15 kids per one American child, and there goes the country. So we're in dire need of people to stand up for Christianity. There's some protests going on, Christian Crusader marches going on in Michigan. So if you guys are tuned in with that, with the White Rabbit and Jake Lang, he's going to be showing up out there. I may not agree with everything he does, but he is fighting for a great cause when it comes to Christianity and the morality of this country, because it's just out the window right now, and it's like no holds bars, everything goes, which is a shame, you know. But I want to give a big shout out. I was watching a podcast that comes on before mine. It's called Freedom's Front Porch, and I want to give a shout out to the girls on there, Nicole, Jen, and you got Tammy. I heard you talking about me, man. I love you guys, man. Thank you. If you've never heard of the Freedom's Front Porch show, it's because it just launched. It's brand new, so I'm gonna want you guys to go follow that. And it's about Ladies Freedom Corner, right? So when all the J6ers were locked up, they had something outside the DC jail called Freedom Corner, and people from all over would show up to show their support for the J6ers. It was family members, and there's certain groups that stuck through it all and never gave up and showed up no matter what the weather was, no matter, you know, how cold it was. They were handing out hand warmers. It was a really, really powerful thing to see, and I went down there a couple times. If you go on Rumble, I have a couple of videos from when I had my experience over there. It's called the Eagle's Nest and the White House over there in D.C. But yeah, shout out to the ladies. Make sure you go tune into that podcast because you're going to hear exclusive stories that you're not going to hear anywhere else because they were actually there on the corner. When the prisoners were inside, there would be a certain time. They would do a prayer. They would do the name calling. And then towards the end of the night, you would see the prisoners flashing their lights inside their cell, flicking them on and off. But they were using a blanket to cover the window. So it looked like the lights were being flickered. But these are the ladies that were there, so they're going to have really good stories that you're going to want to tune into, especially if you're a diehard J6er and you support the families and the atrocity that took place under the Biden administration. Yeah, man, so big salute to all the J6ers. Shout out to that podcast. Go follow it. It's called Freedom's Front Porch. Very important. Go check out their stories. It's unforgettable stuff. Unforgettable stuff. So, all right, so a couple episodes back, we were talking about some guy that got caught out there cheating on his wife. I don't know if you guys remember that, but if you don't, you can go back and check it out. I'll kind of give you a little nutshell of it. So there was construction going on in the house, and the wife was suspecting that the husband was cheating with somebody. She didn't know. So she set up cameras. She blamed the construction going on as a reason to set up the cameras inside the house. So the husband just went for it. And she found him on the camera banging the family dog, all right? Banging the family dog. I forgot the dog's name, but whatever. That sucks. But, yeah, so you got these weirdos walking around, and they're looking at pets like they're attractive. So this guy, he's another guy that they caught, and he was a dog walker, and, he's supposed to, take care of the pets and, was hired to take them out and walk them and whatever. Yo, he's banging the dogs too. What the hell is going on with these people wanting to get down with animals? What the hell is that? Yeah, I mean, come on. It's absolutely disgusting. Bestiality has no place in this society. And, I mean, put these people in mental institutions, all right? Keep them away from animals. Let them register as a sex offender for, animals and humans because that's beyond anything that anybody can comprehend. It's pretty disgusting. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. How many times are you going to have this? It's crazy. And speaking of crazy, wait till you see this one, right? We got a guy in the UK that was jumped on a subway, right? Threw his pants down at some point and was just standing there with men, women, and children on the train, not caring about nothing. I know, you're not going to believe me, but I got the clip. Roll it.
Yo, you need to get off the fucking train, bro.
Fuck off!
You need to get off
Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off!
Look at this guy, man.
the fucking train, mate. There's fucking kids about.
So 9 times out of 10 when this happens, nobody does anything. They just let the guy stand there. But these guys, thank God, stood up and protected the women and children. Shout out to the young guys, man, taking care of business over here because that's unacceptable. You don't do that in front of children. There he is on the floor, face down, getting dragged out. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Where the hell do these people come from? I mean, this is just another reason why Trump, when he says he's going to reopen the mental asylums, he has full well right to do so because you have people like this running around and they're everywhere. They're in every major city. You see the people that are mentally disturbed. They're not even like drug addicts, right? They're just psychotic, crazy people that are like talking to themselves, hearing voices, doing weird stuff, and they're beyond help. They got to lock these people away and give them like, a constrained environment where they can't go out and do whatever the hell they want. I mean, so I drive trucks, right? There was, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, I'm in the city doing a delivery, and this guy in a trench coat, homeless guy in a trench coat, nothing on underneath, walks in front of my truck, looks me dead in the eyes, and then pulls up the back of his trench coat and shits right in front of my truck. I'm dead serious. Like these people are out there. They're everywhere. And God forbid you got to walk your kids down the neighborhood, with these people running around. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Kensington, right? The people in Kensington, they made documentaries over them because they call it Zombie Land, because the people are bent over in the most weirdest positions that you could ever imagine in your life, like on some exorcist positions, and they're just like sleeping. It's really strange stuff, man. Sad to see in society, and the fact that we've been inundated with all these drugs and all this criminality, and the borders open, and the cartels running the show, and you have these Chinese brothels popping up everywhere, all throughout like Queens, where people are walking their kids. You have, these Chinese hookers bouncing their leg out of the doorway on the main street. Like, come on. And then catching all these guys that are, they're just, I guess, degenerates that are just running up in these hotels with the women that slept with about 50 guys for the day. It's crazy. We got to get some morality back in this country, people. If you think that we need morality back in the country, hit that share button and smash that like button and send this thing everywhere, because the algorithm hates us. They don't like the truth, and that's all we're here doing, is hammering out the truth, whether you like it or not, and putting balls behind the news where they deserve to be, because we're not running a corporation around here. We're not running teleprompters around here. I'm not reading a script off a screen. It's straight me and you, and that's it. And, the fine people that run this warehouse, I love these guys, man. So make sure you support this place, man. This is the only place on Long Island and in the United States that you're going to find all this stuff, all these venues, all these people that come here to share their experiences and let you know what's going on with the world. We've had a lot of powerful faces come in this door and give speeches, and we've had events. And so get involved with the America First movement. Don't sit on the couch, sitting on your hands, waiting for somebody else to do it for you. If you have children out there, you need to get up, go on the internet, go to the America First Warehouse, start joining Patriot groups near you in your local area, go on Facebook, whatever social media platforms that you have, and find the Patriots in your area and join forces, because we need armies in every single state that we have in the United States, right? A well-regulated militia, that's us. That's not the Army, it's not the Navy, it's not the Coast Guard, it's us. So that's what we got to be focusing on, recruiting other Patriots that are like-minded, that know how to shoot, that know how to, farm and plant their own stuff and be self-sustaining, and that have a little bit more intellect than the average people that are running around these inner cities. So that's what it's all about. It's all about knowledge. Knowledge is power, and don't let your light bulb get shut off. We're going to be back in a couple minutes after this break. I'm James Justice. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land. I've been there, I looked, I tried to see. Here I am in New York City, watching a nice sunrise. Not really. I'm in the warehouse. I'm telling you about a conservative organization, not the AARP loser, left wing, forget about it. This is where you need to be. You get everything conservative menus. America.us/EAFW.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Welcome back, everybody. So let's jump back into this news. This is another one right here, right? So everybody knows that, you hear the terms Illuminati and you hear the Freemasons and, how Hollywood and the music industry is supposed to be infiltrated with all these things. And a lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people are like, yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. I love these artists. They're the best. And they idolize them and put the posters on the wall. And all throughout these years, I've been explaining to people how in order to achieve a certain level of success, you have to sell your soul. You have to sell your soul to do it. That's what it is, right? Sports players, think about this. Everybody watches sports out there. It doesn't matter if it's football, soccer, baseball, hockey, whatever it is, right? When's the last time that you heard anything intelligent that would build up your character and give you a vision for the future from any of these sports people when they get to the microphone, right? They get a little interview on the side. Is that my team did good, and I think I scored a couple points, and I think I could have did better. It's the same retarded, just not even, it doesn't even make any sense, right? Like none of these people that people idolize, LeBron James and all these guys that are throwing up their little pyramid signs in front of the cameras, none of these people are doing anything to teach you how to build yourself up as a person. None of them, right? And the music industry especially, because I don't know how much, you guys know about spirituality and the Bible and the Book of Enoch and the angels and demons and the things that go on outside of our visual spectrum that we can see. But these things are very, very real. And the people that are high up, like celebrities and the gatekeepers above them, they all know this stuff is real. And what they do is they manipulate society, and they have you come into concerts, right? They'll put a video on. It's nice and innocent. Like, you can go back to the Mickey Mouse Club with this, with, what's her name? Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake as well, right? All three of those were on the Mickey Mouse Club way back in the day. And all three of those became huge celebrities. The one thing they do have in common, though, if you start looking at the music videos, is the checkerboard floors, the laying in the bathtubs with blood, the dark hooded beings in the back of some of their music videos. And it takes a real dark turn after a while. If you look at Britney Spears' first album that she put out, and then you look at the last album she put out, she's like completely, demon possessed, and you could see on the covers, you could see the look in their eyes, how the light and happiness and joy and love of creating music was sucked out of them, and they're just a vessel going around doing the bidding of the higher ups and what their manager says they are allowed to do, and that's it. And let's pull up this picture real quick. For some real weird reason, they're all obsessed with blood, right? They all like being covered with blood, and what's that about? What the hell is that about, right? You got everybody mixed in there. Rihanna, Ariana Grande, everybody's in there. And these new artists that came out, what the hell is the name? I don't know, Sexy Red or something like that, man. She was like pregnant, twerking on like cop cars and in her music video, like really disgusting, degrading just pieces of trash, man. And don't let your kids idolize these people, because they're the scum of the earth. They want nothing more than your child to turn their back on God, turn their back on morality, go get knocked up by some dude they don't even know, and then march down to the abortion clinic that would make Margaret Sanger smile, well, from down below, because that's what they're pushing. They're pushing, you have to be promiscuous, you have to take your clothes off, you have to, find some dude and then leave him because he's nothing. That's not morality. That's not what the Bible says to do, right? The Bible says we're supposed to meet somebody that has the same values and morality as us, and we're supposed to create something and stay together, and that's a gift from God, right? And you raise the gift from God in the morality that you guys share together, and this is how you could love your neighbors. You don't have to sleep with your neighbor's wife because you got morality, and it really haunts your soul to think about these things and to violate them, because that's what it is, man. The oldest book in the world is the Bible, and it tells you what to do. All the instructions that you need as a person in life to figure out how to navigate and guide through this life is all there. It's all there. You just got to look it up, and you got to study it and realize that, the world that we live in is inundated by evil. It's obvious. You see it, right? Where was Satan cast down to? Wasn't Jupiter, wasn't Neptune, it was Earth, right? Here. So all the things that go on, that's evil, that's outside of the spectrum of being a good person and seeking righteousness, is evil. Because, we're not supposed to hurt kids, but yet all of our government that's supposed to be established by God and the divine creator, the people that have infiltrated our government could care less about any of the rules and regulations that God put out and set forth for us. They don't care. They do everything to trample on it. They human traffic all the children and run them in these rape rings, and it's disgusting. We've had Ben Berkram over here, Border 911 people, talking about the tragedies that happen at the border, and it's really disgusting, and we have to put a stop to it. There's no doubt about it. So let's switch gears a little bit. I heard Mamdani pulled up to a McDonald's trying to get some service, and something really funny happened. Let's play this.
Hi, what would you like today?
Hi, can I get a double cheeseburger and a large fry?
Sure, I'll need your ID, please.
Sorry, I left it at home, but I'm the mayor of New York City.
Sir, anyone can say that.
Everyone knows who I am.
Recognition isn't verification.
This is absurd for a burger.
No ID, no food.
Hurry up, you fat ass!
Look, I've been coming here for years.
Then you'll have no trouble producing documentation.
What's taking so long?
This is ridiculous. I have been coming here for 11 years. I am the mayor of New York, and you will not sell me a $6 ID. Fuck!
So that didn't work out too well for him. He couldn't get his burger, man. Maybe you should go down to those state-run grocery stores. Maybe they'll have a burger for you. We don't know what to tell you. But this guy is out of control, man. Wow. So I want to give a big shout-out to Scott Lebedo. He is out of the hospital. He's doing better. He's recovering. And he's going to be putting out messages on social media, giving everybody updates and everything. But from what I heard today, he is released. He's out of the hospital. He's got a little pacemaker put in him. And he's feeling like a whole brand new man, and look forward to some updates coming with him. 9/11, there's going to be a huge protest going on to keep Mamdani out of the 9/11 area. And rightfully so, because this guy's buddy with the people that praised the terrorists that day. So we don't want that. We need to get this guy out of there. So I heard something from a little birdie that his election might be fraudulent, and that there's some votes in there, a lot of votes in there that aren't supposed to be there. So we're going to see what happens with that as that unfolds. But that's going to be interesting, because we all know that the Democrats are cheating on every single election. And if you think that the Democratic Socialists aren't going to use the same tactics, because they kind of bullied their way into the Democrat Party, right? With Rashida Tlaib, you had AOC, and Ilhan Omar. So those three right there basically set the precedent for the extreme socialism and that whole DSA agenda into the Democratic Party. And they were so extreme that the Democratic Party folded under them, and now they're just recruiting their people and bringing them in. So that's something we're really going to have to watch out for, is this whole DSA agenda, because, you know, get Mamdani out of there. I don't know who you're going to put in this place, but get somebody that's a patriot. Hey, maybe Scott Lebedo, man. Scott Lebedo might throw his hat in the race if the right circumstances present themselves. So that might be cool. But, yeah, man, that's what we need. We need to clean up New York City. I wish we had another Rudy Giuliani. Maybe Andrew Giuliani can go into New York City and clean it all up, because that's what his dad did. And it was a great city to walk in. There was barely any crime. You know, I didn't really agree with the stop and frisk tactics back then. But if you think about it, if you're seeing somebody that looks like they could have a gun or they're up to no good, and you pat them down and you find a gun, I mean, you know, it's not, I agree with that. I mean, so like on one hand, I don't like it, but it's necessary to keep law and order inside the city. And he did a really good job with that. He cleaned up the mob. So, you know, those are things that we want to see in New York City. We don't want to see prayer meetings with 40,000 people packing out Times Square with prayer rugs everywhere. And then the host of the event is talking about, we're going to take over the city, and then we're coming to each and every house with Islam. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. The same way we don't want to hear the Jewish rabbis, these extremist Jewish rabbis, talking about how you know, Jesus Christ is conquered and he's boiling in excrement in the Talmud, and then they're saying, you know, we're gonna destroy Christianity and blow up the big Jesus that's in was it Rio de Janeiro? That's all on tape. I'm not making it up, but you know, that's what really gets under my skin watching a lot of the stuff on the internet, is because, you know, you could tell AI videos when it's an AI video, but a rabbi that's been around for 20 years talking like extreme stuff like that, yo, I don't get it. Same thing. So it's either we're going to be a Christian nation or we're not, right? I don't want to support any more wars. I'm tired of going to wars on behalf of other countries. I'm tired of our politicians being bought up and paid for by AIPAC, which is like one of the hugest lobbyists that we have in D.C. right now. Everybody's bought up by AIPAC, and, you know, they're trying to eliminate the website AIPAC Tracker. I think it's .org, but you correct me if I'm wrong. But there's a website out there that you could actually track who's getting paid and funded and how much money that were put into the campaigns. And I think like Ted Cruz took millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions of dollars from this organization, and he's not looking out for the best interests of America. You know, like, we want America first, America only. Let's get our veterans off the streets. Let's get the homeless off the streets, and really start focusing on the education of our kids, because we, you know, out of the world education systems, our kids are doing pretty bad, right? It's pretty bad. Like, people are coming out of like 3rd grade, 4th grade, can't even read. It's ridiculous. So let's focus in on our country, put America first, and that's what we need to do for now. Anything outside of that, kick rocks. We don't want to hear about it. You know, we're not funding Ukraine and their stupid war with Russia. Like, we don't want nothing to do with it. Russia is another Christian nation. We should be, you know, just at peace with everybody. We'll be back after this brief.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic place in all the land. Hey, I'm here getting cleansed up. You know why? Because Sugar Creek Goods is a great place by patriots, making patriot soaps, making me smell nice. And that's what's nice. Who wants to go down the street and smell of somebody bad in New York City? Hey, by the way, what's this thing for?
250 years ago, a nation was born. Built on courage, driven by freedom, defined by patriots who stood their ground. Today, we don't just remember that legacy, we wear it. This is more than a shirt. It's a symbol of strength, freedom, and pride. I'm Steve Stern, COO of theflagshirt.com, and I invite you to celebrate 250 years of the United States with us. Wear your pride, stand for something, get your shirts today.
You know what is more disappointing than Gino Visconti, everyone?
My sex life?
No, bad cell service. Let's make fun of Gino. Oh, wait, he's here.
Well, speaking of the opposite of his sex life, these people have towers that are huge, and they're everywhere. And while you're traveling, you can use these huge towers. PatriotMobile.com/, it bends to the right, I don't have to tell you, TAFW. And then you can talk about me behind my back.
Patriotic people doing patriotic things.
Today is a good day to be free. I cannot tell a lie. That show tonight, summer special, America 250, is off the hook.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
Yo, we are back at the most patriotic venue in all the land. It is such a blessing to be here, and I thank each and every one of you for tuning in, sharing it out, and doing what you do as a patriot in your area. We couldn't do it without you. The Second American Revolution is upon us, and we are the resistance. So I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into some funny stories. So I'm out this weekend. I was shopping with my daughter, and we were going to get some dog toys for our puppy. And we're in the aisle, and I'm looking, and all I hear is, hey, look at this. So I'm just going to roll this video. It's hilarious. You're going to love it. All right, check it out, guys. I'm in the dog toy section, right? I'm looking for a little toy for my dog, and we're browsing, and then all I hear is, hey, Dad, look. And then she shows me this guy. There he is. How awesome is that? There he is in this jungle of toys. We got the Commander-in-Chief. Believe me, these are the best dog toys you'll ever find in the world. Yeah, so I found that guy. So I had to get him. He was the lone trump in the midst of all those toys. So I grabbed him and I actually brought him to the warehouse tonight. And I'm giving him to Teresa to put in her office. And she's gonna have. I saved Trump from getting chewed on by some dog. And don't worry, we have your back, Mr. President. We have your back. That was pretty awesome. So also, along my adventure over the weekend, I went out to Shelter Island with my daughter, and I took my mother out there. And while we were getting on the ferry to cross into Shelter Island, I saw the coolest Coast Guard ship I ever saw in my life. It actually looked like a pirate ship. If you got number 7, pull that up real quick. What's up, everybody? We are on the ferry heading over to Shelter Island, and I spotted this bad boy right here. How badass is that? Look at the size of that flag. Woo! Oh my goodness. When we see giant flags, we get excited. It out. We're patriots. We are here. All the way out east. But that right there is cool as hell, man. Look at the mast of those things. That is awesome. Shout out to the U.S. Coast Guard, man. A little yacht compared to the Coast Guard boat. So that was cool. I saw that was the first time I ever saw like a Coast Guard boat that looked like that. So that was pretty awesome. Absolutely awesome. So yeah, Shelter Island's a pretty nice area. They got some good stops over there, good restaurants, and I had a good time. So if you're ever gonna take the trip to Shelter Island, head on over there. It's a good time. Pack a little bag, a little cooler or whatever, and heading out there, you go through the North Fork for the vineyards. So there's tons of vineyards. You could make a little pit stop and hang out and do a little picnic on the way. It's a really good time. So who heard about Bill Gates? Right? Everybody knows about Bill Gates, but do you hear what he's up to recently? This guy right here, He wants the water now. It wasn't enough to have, the inside of our veins to inject your little weird vaccines with your mosquitoes that you patented in the lab. That wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough to depopulate the planet by 15% like you were talking about in TED Talks. That wasn't good enough. No, because people aren't dropping quick enough. So 20 years ago, I was watching a documentary called Water Wars. I don't even know if you can still find it on the internet. But in this documentary, it was saying how all of our freshwater resources were being basically given to China. And they were pumping out our lakes, filling up these million-gallon sacks that they were using tugboats and ships to drag across the ocean and to fill China's aquifers because they had no more water. So this has been going on for a long time under the radar. Nobody really discussed it at all. So now Bill Gates thinks that if he puts his hand in the water pie, that maybe he's gonna get some money out of it, or maybe depopulate more than 30%, because water is life. If you don't have water, you're gonna die, right? Well, don't listen to me. Let's hear his words. Roll it.
Water shortages could be the biggest mass mortality event the world has ever seen. I am talking billions of people dying. The only way we ensure people remain safe is by being invested in the United States water reserve. So the only way to remain safe, right, for us in the United States is to let them have control over the water reserves. Does that make any sense to you guys? Right? It doesn't to me, and it shouldn't to anybody else, because this is the last guy you want in control of the water supply and reservoirs inside of our country. He's already buying up the farmland, right? He already genetically modified the Texas Lone Star tick to bite you and give you alpha-gal syndrome, so you can't eat meat anymore, or you could possibly die if you eat it, right? Only to roll out his Beyond Burger plant-based products. So this is the guy behind that. But it's crazy, right? So when are we going to lock up Bill Gates? If we're going to go after Anthony Fauci, we have to go after Bill Gates, because they're two in the same. It's like the two hands to the same puppet, where you can't just lock up one and leave the other, right? Bill Gates, the rest of his guys, the World Economic Forum, all the people that were calling these COVID policies and getting in front of the camera, and they were in charge of the pandemic simulations and all this other stuff, they all have to go to jail. And the American people are not going to be happy and content until we see these people held accountable for Nuremberg 2.0, because of all the deaths and all the people that they maimed with these vaccines. You have people that are messed up and debilitated for life, and that will never be the same because, trust the science. And you had these idiots running around on TV, and the mainstream media pumped it out like, oh, this is the only truth. You got to listen to the science, trust the science. And they destroyed a lot of people's families. And, when is enough? So let's go after Fauci. Let's stick the fork in him, arrest him, send him away for life, and then let's start rolling up the handcuffs on the rest of these guys, because enough is enough, right? Midterms are coming. I always say it, and we need something big right before the midterms. The Democrats seem to always have an October surprise when the midterms are coming, right? They're dropping dossiers and all this other stuff, right? Remember the PP tapes that Hillary Clinton said, oh yeah, Trump was getting pissed on in Russia by these hookers. Dude, Trump is like a germaphobe. He's not going around any of that stuff. Can you imagine? Like, the guy, if you've been to any of his properties, you could see how much of a perfectionist and how clean this guy is, right? So we went to Bedminster a couple times, and when I tell you, the bathrooms were like the most impressive part of the whole place. It was like, wow, it's incredible. Green marble, golden faucets, like lion tables in the middle of the floor. Everything is in pristine condition. There's not a piece of paper on the floor in any of the toilets. Everything's nice, man. Like a custom-made oak, whatever. But so we're tired, man. We want accountability. So no more lies, no more making up stories and trying to trash our country into the ground. We want accountability. Lock up Obama, Fauci, and the rest of these guys. Roll this clip.
I don't know how many times I can say it, Madam Chair. We did not fund gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute.
This is CNN, too.
We now know that a bat coronavirus was enhanced in the lab.
The NIH and NIAID categorically has not funded gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
The National Institutes of Health acknowledged that it funded research of a virus that was studied at the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
You don't say.
Jake and Tony, more red.
You don't say. We've been saying this since day one. We've been trying to put out the warning to everybody. Don't get the hokey pokey. Don't take the PCR test. Don't stay home. You know, oh, you can't take your kids to the playground. Oh, yeah? Well, I did. I ripped the tape right off. I don't care. And, yeah, I put out a post a couple days ago, actually, because, you know, you say these things, and a lot of people are like, yeah, sure you did, just making up stories, but you got to back it up. So I asked my daughter, like, randomly, like, hey, do you remember under COVID with the playgrounds being closed down? She's like, yep. I said, what did we do? Did we listen, or did we go in the playground? She's like, we went in the playground. I was like, yep. I was like, I ripped the tape right off those things, right? Because they had yellow caution tape wrapped around the entrances of these places. Like, oh, you can't go in there. Yo, there was nobody. People were pulling up with their kids in the car, and they look at the playground and pull off. And then, like, other people, you see them, like, the parents arguing in the car with the kids in the back and, like, sitting in front of the playground. And nobody would want to do anything, right? So I said, you know what? I really know what's going on with this whole stuff, and I know there's no threats. So I ripped the tape right off one of these playgrounds, and there was about 5 cars. As soon as my daughter went in there, me and her pushing on the swings, and then all of a sudden you see all these parents coming out of their car, pulling over, parking, and the park was packed. And then they had some guy, code enforcement guy, come over. He's like, oh, the park is closed. I said, nope, it's closed to you. Get out of here, man. We're not leaving. Call the cops. You could arrest all his parents and kids. And he just shook his head and walked off. But hey, we had a good time at the park that day when the government told us we couldn't do that. And that should be a lesson in itself. Stop complying with unconstitutional orders. That's it. That's all you. If you know your Constitution, you know what they can and can't do, and that's the bottom line. And that's what people have to do: is know their Constitution, follow the Constitution, and you'll be fine, right? A lot of times, police interactions, if you know your rights, you understand that they work for us, right? We're their boss until we break a law. Now, there's some cops out there that have it in their head that they can just run up on people and ID them, and you know, it's the total opposite of what the actual Constitution says. And there's a lot of videos out there. They're called First Amendment auditors. They do stress tests on the First Amendment with different interactions. It could be a town hall with, city employees, or it could be police officers on a traffic stop and they roll up to record. There's all different scenarios and all different personalities that do these audits. But if you want to get informed and know your rights, these are the best things to watch, because as you're seeing the motions and the cop tries to bully the cameraman and the cameraman asserts his rights, you see how they back off, and it's like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. Because they work for us. We're their boss. We're their boss until we commit a crime. And that's how it's always been. It's just people aren't taught that. So study up on your Constitution, learn your Bill of Rights, and learn the in and outs of the law, and you'll be in a better place. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. I'll be back on the other side.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. You know, people at the warehouse are always asking me, Gino, you show up smelling like freedom every day, even though you live in the cesspool that is the socialist New York City. How do you do it? Sugar Creek Goods. Sugar Creek Goods is made by patriots and has a full line of incredible products, including soaps and lotions, and even this that you use for your dog, Patriot Puffs. My wife makes me use that. But people, please, get your own. Go to sugarcreekgoods.com/TAFW. See ya.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Hey, Paul, I was having a pillow fight with Gino's wife.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's not supposed to stay up that late.
I have the video. And now let me tell you, talk about soft. When I think soft pillows, I think of, other than Gino's wife, MyPillow.com. Because these are the best pillows you're ever going to get. You can go to MyPillow.com /TAFW. Go now. Get your My Pillow. Right now.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today.
You know, I got to tell you, a lot of my followers are asking, hey, Midnight, where are you getting all that energy from? I say, you want to know the truth? I take about 25 milligrams of Adderall a day. But that eventually ends, and then that's where Agara coffee comes in. I start drinking this stuff, and it boosts my energy. It shoots me right through to the moon. If you're not drinking Agara coffee and you need that extra boost during the middle of the day, I'm telling you right now, get this into your system, and I promise you that it will absolutely take you to a whole nother level. Midnight, I am out. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Welcome back to the James Justice Show. Make sure you share this out. If you're just tuning in now, we are fighting the censorship and algorithms because truth is hard to get out in a revolution, and that's what it is. Remember the saying, the revolution will not be televised? Well, they were not off at all. That's exactly what's going on. The truth is being shunned off to the side, and the lies are being promoted. So I need you guys to share this out. Make sure you support the America First Warehouse on all platforms, and let's get out the truth to everybody. And there's a whole network of podcasters that come here Tuesdays and Wednesdays that are just going to blow your mind. It's all different types of personalities, but we all come from an America First angle, so it's absolutely epic. Tune in. Let's go. Let's get back into this news. So back into Bill Gates, right? Now, I put out that video about the water, and I did a little commentary on the video. What happened was Facebook, no, it wasn't Facebook, it was TikTok took my video and deleted it immediately. And this is like my 28th account, not bullshitting, 28 accounts, and they're still doing it. Pull this image up real quick. So this is what I face on all the time. Video removed. All right, this video violates our community guidelines. Sweet. And all it was me talking about Bill Gates. His own words talk about how we need to guard the water, and I violated the guidelines. But this is something that we've been going through. If you're a truth seeker and you're an investigative journalist and you've been putting out this content and trying to raise the alarm to the public about how deep the rabbit hole really goes, then, you've been facing the same thing I have. So, kudos to you. We are in the censorship army, and who cares? They're not going to stop us. Every time they delete the account, we come back stronger, and the people just look for us and rejoin anyway, and we come back stronger every single time. So go ahead, keep censoring. It's fine. We don't care. Speaking of censorship, there was a guy named Joe Fells. He's all over TikTok, Instagram. He's all over the place. So I don't know the full background of this guy. I came across him on social media, and I liked what he was talking about, and I liked what he presented on his videos. Now, he started getting into esoteric knowledge and really trying to figure out what the hell's going on with our electricity, why we were robbed from some technology back in the early 1900s that should have been available for free today, and a lot of Bible stuff that this guy was digging into. What he would do is he would grab Bibles that were from the 1800s and then compare them to modern day Bibles, and there was a lot of stuff taken out, a lot of stuff stuff taken out. It's kind of like the Ethiopian Bible, where they have 20 more books than we do here. But the Book of Enoch is by far the most interesting out of all of them, because Enoch was the only person to walk with God, and he was no more. And there's no account of anything about him in the Bible outside of that. It was like Noah's great-great-grandfather. But outside of that, you can't find anything. So when you get the Book of Enoch, and they're also referred to as the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that were missing before that actually, came out. So go check that out. It's really crazy. But so this guy would get these Bibles and go through them, and he created a website. Well, he was in the process of creating a website where he was going to archive all of this stuff, all his findings, all his studies from history. And he went to like places around the world where they had this technology, like very bizarre technology that we can't even like comprehend today, that was made thousands and thousands of years ago. And the understanding and the consciousness and just the intellect of the people from back then was way higher than it is today. And, at some point, our information and our knowledge was stolen from us and kept away and given to secret societies. But that's a whole nother topic. We could dive into that later on in another episode. But let's roll this clip real quick. This is the guy I'm talking about, and just go follow him. It's crazy.
I'd like to start out by saying I'm not suicidal and I'm very healthy. If we disappear, the government did it. I think buying and selling energy should be illegal because energy comes from the earth. Humanity has been buying it and selling it and using it as a means of control for too long. I do not think that humans should buy and sell electricity. I don't think it's theirs. I think it was put here on this earth by God for all of us to use, and that people have been selling it to you. And I don't like that. So I will give up my time, my energy for free if I can teach you the only way that I know right now that you can just snatch it. Who has questions about the Freemasons? In my hand, I have a Freemason Bible from the 1950s and a whole bunch of internal Freemason documents. Here's a hint. It has a lot to do with the Holy Land of Israel, Palestine. Let's start at the beginning. First Esdras. As you can see, it talks about King David, Israel, the Levites. This one is excluded because they said it was a redundant variety of canonical scripture. Wisdom of Solomon, written about 100 BC, excluded because it was written in Greek, not Hebrew. Ecclesiasticus, written about 180 BC, excluded because it was not in the Jewish Bible. The book of Baruch was written by the prophet Jeremiah scribe, and it was excluded because it was not in the Jewish Bible. The history of Susanna, it even says right here, set apart from the beginning of Daniel because it is not in the Hebrew. These guys didn't want the Apocrypha in your Bible. I'm also not sure why they took Palestine out of the Holy Land, but I'm fixing to put these things online so we can all read them and decipher them together because they some shit in the game. There's secrets that have been hidden all the way back in Egypt. Secrets of the Egyptian Magi. We all know that Jesus was most likely in Egypt as a young boy. Cloak of religion with which all secrets were covered. Ancient Jewish esoteric mysticism, the Kabbalah. Jesus was a mystic. The heathen are as capable of receiving the Holy Spirit as Christians. My notes. Anderson, a Freemason, quotes yet contradicts the Bible, all in the same chapter. Seems like he's looking for truth, not narrative. The knowledge of such rare phenomena and their causes could therefore, in remote times, only be known to the highest sages and rulers who preserve it among their secret learning and transmit it to their children under that cloak of religion with which all secrets were covered. All the answers are in here, but religion has been used as a cloak to hide it, and it's only been given to the elite. Secrets of the Egyptian Magi. Jesus was most likely in Egypt as a young boy learning mystic things. Like what? The Egyptian priesthood was well acquainted with the phenomena of magnetism, its methods of production, and the means of application to various diseases that for this aim, they concealed the greater portion of the religious customs from the eyes of the uninitiated. There are secrets that have been hidden all the way back in Egypt. Now I know why they would take a verse out of Matthew. This verse in Matthew might lead you down the path of the obscure L.H. Anderson author who would tell you all the psychic forces of magnetism the elite have been using to rule the world since the Egyptians. If you think about the shit that's going on right now with the elite and the cabal, Bill Gates and Pepstein and all these other things, and the hidden sick things they're doing, now you could call me crazy, or you could call me curious, or you could call me correlated. But whatever it is, I know there is more in this little book that meets the eye, and I'm going to figure it out and let all you know as we go.
Yeah. So that's the guy, Joe Fells, and doesn't seem crazy, right? Seems like he's pretty well put together, very good speaker, trying to figure things out, inquisitive, right? Well, guess what? He's dead. He's dead. Out of nowhere, the guy ends up dead, right? And the opening of the video was, I am not suicidal. And then he goes with the other guy. Now, the black guy that you saw on the film, which was the second clip of the opening, this is the guy that basically figured out a way to turn plastic into gasoline. And it's like, it burns at a higher rate. I think it was like 150 octane. It was like, not jet fuel, but racing fuel that this guy was producing out of plastic bottles. And he's got some, technology that he figured out that is creating this stuff, right? So these two guys were trying to team up and figure out a way to give endless energy to humanity. And you know who was the last person to do that? Nikola Tesla in the early 1900s. And there's been a lot of inventors throughout the course of time, all the way up until now, that have tapped into these ancient resources and ancient technologies of running things, and they were killed for it, right? There was a car that they could basically just get to run off of water by, what was it called? Hydrogen, right? Where they take distilled water and they put it in the car, and they tickle the water with current, and it creates a gas when the atoms and molecules separate. And they were fueling cars off that, and the guy got was 100 miles a gallon, and the fuel would burn so clean that it would steam clean the engine, and the car was running better than ever, and all this crazy stuff was coming out of the tailpipe. But look up these inventors for cars that could run on water, and all the stuff that's came out throughout the years, and these inventors ended up dead. So you got Joe Fels. The latest report that I heard is they're trying to say that he hung himself after saying that I'm not suicidal and I'm very healthy, all right? So the only thing that I can really think of, because JFK got killed because, he took he was going to put our money back on the gold standard. On top of that, he was trying to make Israel register under Pharaoh, right? And there was a couple other things that was going on behind the scenes. Like JFK signed a whole bunch of executive orders, which I should do a whole nother podcast on that basically gave away the sovereignty of the United States to FEMA, and he didn't realize he was doing it until afterwards. And then he was like, oh, what am I going to do? And then gave out a couple speeches talking about secret societies and what was really going on behind the scenes, and then they killed him over that. So the next person to die that was switching gears on a subject was Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie Kirk was very big pro-Israel guy the entire time. And then something happened at the colleges where he started getting hit with questions, and he didn't really have the answer to them. And then he started looking into things. And 2 weeks before he died, on his podcast, he was questioning a lot of things that Israel was doing, if there was a genocide, if there was a stand down at the border, and he ended up dead, right? Now, Joe Fels, this guy, gets Bibles that are from like the 1800s, and all he's doing is making videos of showing you what was in those Bibles and the land of Palestine and all this other stuff that was in the Bibles that goes back thousands of years, right? What more can you say? What more can you say? But, look into it. Look into Joe Fels. Look into the Bible verses he was talking about, the chapters, the books. Look into the book of Enoch. I mean, we're not just about battling the New World Order here. Half of it is spirituality, because what they do on the outside reflects on the inside. And we're running out of time over here at the James Justice Show. Make sure you share this out. I love you all. Thank you for sticking with me throughout the years. And we will see you for episode 21 on the next one. Love you guys. Peace.
For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. And the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see. A symbol of hope, a symbol of unity.